Welcome back. You're still with us on Markets Today. Well, we've run through the three headlines for today, so let's get to the fourth one. Godrej Consumer, well, that one was a rare underperformer in trade today on lower growth as well as concerns on the margin front for the second quarter. Mangalam is standing by to run us through a quick analysis on the quarterly update that they put out. Mangalam?
Well, that's correct. So Godrej Consumer is losing in trade, understandably, because of its second quarter update that the company has reported. And a few things really stand out from a company standpoint. In the quarter itself, the company at a consolidated level has reported a mid-single-digit sales growth. And that would mean around a little higher than mid-single-digit sales growth. That would mean around 6 to 7 odd %. But that accounts for not much as far as the profitability is concerned, because they are saying that the EBITDA may actually decline by almost, mid-teens, close to around 14 to 15% is what the street is penciling in this time, and this is on account of two factors. One, high cost inventory that the company was sitting on, and secondly, upfront marketing investments that they've been making. As far as the India business is concerned, they're likely to see a high single-digit growth, but then again, that won't be volume backed because of higher raw material prices. They had increased the prices in soaps, and that has had an impact on their volumes, because the India volumes would actually decline in mid-single digits as well. Indonesia has been a bit of a problem for the company for the last many quarters, and that may continue this time around as well. Early double-digit constant currency sales decline. The only bright spot for them is the Africa as well as the Latin American business. For Africa, they are expecting to see almost low teens sort of growth this time around. That would mean the ninth quarter of double-digit growth. However, from an industry standpoint, three things stand out. The company says that the industry remains soft in the second quarter. Secondly, rural market witnessed slower growth compared to urban. And finally, they expect consumption to improve in the second half of this year. From the first quarter itself, everyone was talking about how there would be recovery in the second half, but they had to contend with the second quarter, and the second quarter, understandably, not looking too good. So to that extent, today's low on the stock will be crucial to watch.
Thanks a lot for that, Mangalam. Well, financials as well. Quite a few of them came out with their second quarter business updates. Abhishek Kothari, he's with us to run us through the key highlights from the companies that reported. Abhishek?
Well, the quarter is looking good in terms of business momentum for many players, especially on the loan front. So to begin with, Bajaj Finance, the new loans have declined sharply on a sequential basis. However, AUM growth on a YY basis is the best in the last 11 quarters. The new loans have declined by 8.1% quarter on quarter. Customer base, however, is up 19.1% YOY and 4.3% sequentially. The AUM growth remains strong, close to 31% YOY and about 7% sequentially. So average ticket size is helping the AUM growth this time around. It's up 10% YOY and 2.6% sequentially. Deposit momentum has been strong at 15.5% growth on a sequential basis. Capital was consumed as CRAR has declined to 25.1% when compared to 26.2% in the previous quarter. AU Small Finance Bank, over there also the business momentum has been pretty strong. Deposits up close to 50% YOY and about 7% sequentially. The loan growth 41.5% YOY and about 8% sequentially. CASA ratio, or the low-cost deposit ratio, that's at a staggering 42%, perhaps at an all-time high for the bank. And collection efficiency for September was at 109% versus month-on-month, which was 106%. So going on to RBL Bank, it's a mixed bag, especially in terms of deposit momentum being weak. However, loan growth has picked up. So CASA ratio is at all-time high of 36.2%. Deposits almost flat on a sequential basis and a mere growth of just 5% YOY. YOY, it's the weakest in last 8 quarters. Loan growth pretty strong on a sequential basis. The loan growth is at 4.2%, perhaps the best in last 13 quarters, and CASA also continues to grow for them. Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, strong business momentum seen over there. Deposits are up close to 45% YOY and about 10.5% sequentially. Strong disbursal momentum also seen over there, close to 56% growth on a YOY basis and about 12.5% sequentially. So the loans are up more than 44% YOY and close to 8% quarter on quarter. YOY, it's the best growth that you are seeing in Ujjivan Small Finance Bank over the last 11 quarters. Back to you.
Thanks a lot for that, Abhishek. Well, the fifth headline now. Crude oil prices were up for the fourth straight session after OPEC nations agreed to slash output by around 2 million barrels per day. That's the largest reduction since 2020. Brent crude prices, in fact, had moved to its highest levels we've seen in the past 1 month. Manisha Gupta joins us to fill us in with all those details. Manisha.
Well, the crude oil prices have gained up by 10% in this week from a low of nearly $81 to almost $94 a barrel of a high is what we've seen in this week there. The OPEC and allies have decided to cut output by 2 million barrels per day, though the actual cuts could really be just at about 1 million barrels because the OPEC is underproducing below their agreed quotas as well. The next meeting that the OPEC and allies will hold would be on 4th of December when they will assess the international situation on supply and demand. This clearly has been the biggest output cut since the start of pandemic. It was in early 2020 when OPEC cut nearly 10 million barrels per day because there was absolutely no demand at that time. There also is an important statement from Saudi Arabia saying that the cuts are necessary due to increasing interest rates and weak demand and the kind of decline that we have seen in prices as well. Also, Russia says that they also may cut output in a response to the price cap that the European Union is planning on 5th of December. So there are some premiums that we've seen coming into the prices already. Also, the decline in US inventories for a second straight week has been supportive. So has been the case with the dollar index, which is holding around 111, has been a supportive factor there. OPEC did cut supply by 1 lakh barrels in the month of August, but this is much on the higher side. As I said, OPEC has missed output targets in the month of June and July and August as well. So the real output cut could be much lower than the 2 million barrels that is being put out. The global deficit, if you look at in the markets in sense of supply, stands at 0.6 million barrels per day. So when you calculate all of that together, there are supply concerns that the markets are dealing with, and we've seen that in prices already. Important statements coming in from US as well, where they say that they will be consulting Congress on reducing cartel control and also looking at some antitrust lawsuits against OPEC there. US also is going to release 10 million barrels in the month of November from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. But what you need to really watch out for right now is one, the US midterm elections in the month of November, and two, more recent, more quicker is going to be the US non-farm payroll data on Friday. Crude will take directions from all of this.
Thanks a lot for that, Manisha. Well, clearly a bit of a worry as crude oil prices gradually move back towards that $100 per barrel. But on that note, we'll wrap up on this edition of Markets Today. Thanks so much for watching.